Hello there. Greetings to you, fellow believers and Bible students and those of you who are still seeking for the truth. I assume that you're here because you have an interest in Bible and Bible prophecy and the end days. I'm going to introduce to you a study, a very exciting study in Bible prophecy, and you will want to go to my website at B4, the letter B, the number 4, therapture.com, beforetherapture.com. This really tells the whole story of what our study is about, but we'll get to it in a little bit. So, beforetherapture.com, why do you want to go to that site? Number one, all of the videos of the study are going to be in the right order, and you will want to go there to go follow to the third, fourth, fifth, or go back without having to search through the YouTube channels to find what video you want. Number two, you will find links and resources that are going to be very necessary in following up with the study, and this is what is going to be included in every web page. Number three, no comments allowed on YouTube. We're not going to let the comments available because unfortunately there is too many people that abuse this privilege, and they get profane, and we don't want the YouTube people to get upset with us, so we're going to lock the comments. And you will want to go to the website if you have to ask something or to comment. You can do so there. Now there's not going to be any email lists in my website. I'm not going to stuff your mailbox with emails every month, but you will be able to send emails to me. This means, of course, that you will want to subscribe to the YouTube channel in order to get the updates, the new videos as they come. Now let me issue some disclaimers. Disclaimer number one, I'm not a preacher and I'm not a teacher. All I am is a Bible student like you are, and I have been studying the Bible seriously since 1989. I'm especially interested in the subject of prophecy. Number two, new insights in old teachings. You're not here to listen again to the same things you've heard 100 times before. We really dig deep into the Bible, and you will see that you will get insights here that you have not heard anywhere else before. Number three, pre-tribulation rapture. Let me be perfectly clear here. I believe in pre-tribulation rapture of the church. However, there is a big problem. The way prophecy teachers are teaching about the rapture of the church, it's really out of balance. It really gives a bad name to the church, to the Bible, to prophecy altogether. The reason, I think, is because they pick up on the book of Revelation. They teach the book of Revelation, which is full of events that happen after the rapture, so the focus gets to the beginning of that, which is the rapture, and nobody ever studies anything that happens before the rapture. And the common mantra among prophecy teachers, and a teaching that I have never heard questioned, is that there is nothing the Bible says must happen from our time now to the rapture of the church. And that is a teaching I'm here to dispute with biblical evidence. We're going to see that the church is not ready for the rapture. The Bible shows very specific events that must happen, and these events are going to be used to get the church ready for the rapture. Before I go on, let me issue a little warning. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say pre-tribulation rapture, then please stop. You are in the wrong place. You need to go back to my website and follow the links that I give to some really great studies that are free. They're MP3s that you can download and listen to. They're teachings of the book of Revelation, the book of Daniel, the book of Zechariah, and go listen to them, study prophecy, get a basic understanding of what it is we're talking about with the end time prophecies, and then come back and follow up with this study. We take a basic understanding of end times prophecy for granted as we go on. Now in number three, I said that we will study events before the rapture of the church. And the overall general reason that I gave is that the church must become ready in order for Jesus to come and take her out of the world. So, what we're going to find out in our study is that the pre-rapture events are not in the book of Revelation. The events that must happen that are going to prepare the church for the rapture are events that are prophesied in the Bible, and they're scattered all over the Old Testament. It is a very difficult study. You're going to have to work hard with me, but we're going to put a picture together that is going to make everything clear. And having things clear for the end time prophecies is very, very vital as we're going on. Things are going to get dark. You thought 9/11 was a bad time? You haven't seen nothing. Things are going to get really bad, and the church is going to go under severe persecution. And those believers who do not understand what is going on are going to have a hard time with this. So I feel this urgency to put out this study because I feel that it is very necessary knowledge that we must have in order to understand what God is doing in the world. And I'm sorry to say that these teachings have not been out. I see some of them coming out, some of them being touched upon as we get closer into these times, but the entire picture is very sketchy, is very unclear, and that is not good. That is not necessary. The Bible is a lot more specific and a lot more direct on the things that we must know, and we're here to explore them and to find out. And I promise you that if you stay with me, you are going to get a revelation that is going to be really freeing in terms of the anxieties that are going to happen because of the things that are coming up on this world. They have already started. Is the rapture imminent? We've been talking about this. There is things that have to happen in order for the church to become ready for the rapture. Okay? And here's the first verse that I would like for you to consider. John 17:21. Here Jesus is praying to the Father, and he says that all they may be one. Now, all he's talking about is his disciples, and by extension all of the believers, all of the church really. That all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. So here Jesus is talking about a unity that is going to be so tight among believers that they're going to remind of the unity that the Father, God, has with the Son, Jesus. And I ask you, when you look at the church today, does it look anything like that unity? Does it look anything like this great prayer that Jesus is talking about? And I'm sure you will answer, unfortunately, it is not. Things have to happen that are going to bring this about. The prayer of Jesus in the Gospel of John 17 is going to be answered, and the unity, this kind of unity of the church, is going to be realized, and then the church will be ready to go. Then we have Matthew 24:14. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in all the world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. Now, has the gospel been preached into all the world in order for the end of the age of the church to come? Let's take a look at this map. You will see here that the nations that are more to the white have 0 to 10% nominal Christianity. Now, when we say nominal Christianity, is people that say that they're Christians. They don't have to be Christians really, but just they say they're Christians, okay? And look at these huge areas, almost the entire Asia, Northern Africa. There are less than 10% Christians. What is going on here? Has the gospel been preached into all the world for the end to come? And the answer, of course, is no. Well, along with the persecutions that are going to happen in order to perfect the church, these persecutions are going to be instrumental in the church exploding in terms of preaching the gospel and bringing this prophecy to fruition and to realizing the evangelization of the whole world. Now let's go on and take a look at the outline of our study. Let's see what we're going to be studying about. The geopolitical map of the world at the time of the rapture. Throughout our study, we're going to find out that we're going to be discovering what the geopolitical map of the world is going to be around the time of the rapture of the church. It may surprise you, but the Bible does give a lot of details, and some specific countries are named specifically how they're going to be prominent and how they're going to interact with Israel as the time of the end is coming. A lengthy detour. Sorry folks, but here I'm going to pull a bait and switch. I'm going to give you the origins of the geopolitical map of the world at the time of the rapture, and then we're going to go on a lengthy detour. I want to bait you in order to raise your interest, and then I'm going to make you study. It is not because I am mean or anything, it is because the events described in prophecy are very tightly interdependent with all the major themes of the Bible. If we were to make sense and have confidence in how to interpret prophecy, then we must understand some key themes and concepts of the entire Bible. So let's take a look at our lengthy detour. The war between good and evil. The whole story of the Bible is about a cosmic battle that is raging, and it is between good and evil, between Satan and God. We are caught in the middle of this battle, and we're important players in it. God has specific purposes, and He has specific methods with which He is going to achieve these purposes. And Satan has his own purposes, and his own method, and he is going to try to achieve his own purposes. So, in this lengthy detour, we're going to first look at God's ultimate goal for mankind. The Bible gives us a very good idea of why God created man in the first place. It reveals God's desire and final destination for humanity. Next thing, we're going to look into Satan's war room. You may be surprised, but the Bible has very specific details about what Satan's plan is, how he is trying to accomplish the plan, and the methods he is using. The role, the purposes, and the methods Satan is using are hardly ever being discussed in the church. There is sort of a fuzzy kind of notion that Satan is an ultimate foe who knows he has been defeated, and he is trying to destroy people and anything else he can find to destroy it before his final doom. This picture is prevalent among believers, but it is grossly oversimplified and inaccurate. Satan's ultimate goal for the war. During our study, we will find that Satan has a very specific purpose. He has very specific ways in which he is using his resources in order to achieve that purpose. And he is far from being convinced that he is the ultimate loser. Oh, he knows all the prophecies better than any of us. But is he believing these prophecies? The answer is not. If he believed them, he would have never revolted against God in the first place. The two programs Satan is using to carry out the war and reach his goal. We're going to find out that Satan is using two very specific, they're related, but they're different. And there are two programs which he is using in order to carry out his war and to thwart the designs of God. So let's go back to the outline of our study, and after this great big lengthy detour, we're going to be ready to come back to prophecy proper, and we're going to discuss the 3 world wars that are going to happen before the end. 2 of these world wars are going to happen before the rapture of the church. The third one is Armageddon, and that will happen at the end of the Great Tribulation. And we will find about the 2 grand revivals. These 2 world wars are going to be followed by great revivals, and these great revivals are going to be instrumental in completing the unification of the church on one side and the preaching of the gospel into all the world, so that the church is ready to be taken out of the earth. Now, to all of you seasoned prophecy teachers and students, please do not get offended because I'm not date setting, but with all the knowledge we're going to acquire in this study, we're going to reach the end of this study with enough knowledge to be able to say which is the last sign before the rapture of the church. And what I mean by this is, what is the one last thing that must happen in order for us to say really there is nothing standing between the church and the rapture. The church is ready to go. There is a final sign. There is an event that we're going to put together by looking at the different scriptures, by looking at the different patterns in the Bible and Bible prophecy. But every one of you, if you stay with me in this study, will be able to answer the question before I even present it. What is the last sign before the rapture of the church? So until next time, be good, and I hope to have the next video up in 1 week.